Hello everyone, and today we're going to take a look at the Steam replay of 2022. We did this last year for the Xbox in the Xbox Museum, and this is my Steam replay. So no surprise, we played, the majority of our time was spent in Star Wars The Old Republic. 60% of our time, of our play session, 477 times I launched the game. I take it that's how many times you launched it. Might have been difficult in January with the launcher problem. Maybe that's why it's so high. But we'll get into the monthly stats further down. We played 73 games out of our 400 and... What was my library? 506. Not all of them are games, though. Can you filter the library? No, it doesn't let me filter it anymore. Not all of them are games. Some of them are like music studios. But we've got 400 and odd games in our Steam library. How do we get back to that page again? How do we get back to our stats page? Oh no, they've took away my stats page. We'll just keep hitting back a bunch of times until we get to it. Oh, they've taken away. There it is. It's in the click store. There we go. I didn't know how to get back to that. I've shared it publicly because we're going to do it in a video anyway, so why not? Final Fantasy XIV was our second most played game, and then Vampire Survivors was our third most played game. 4% of our playtime. Play it on the Xbox as well, and I played it on Game Pass on the PC. 85% keyboard and mouse, 15% with a controller. Well, SWTOR Final Fantasy. You can play Final Fantasy with a controller, but I don't recommend it. Better off with a mouse and keyboard. 196 achievements. Most of them were in Vampire Survivors, I'm going to surmise there. None of them in SWTOR, I think we've already got them all. There you go, 73 games played, 32 new games, and one demo. That was that Spies Never Die thing. That was that one. That GoldenEye Perfect Dark clone. It's not been released yet. Let's see how we compare against the rest of the Steam community. 196 achievements, not a lot. Again, most of them are Vampire Survivors. The Steam average is 21, so we're well in the gravy there. 73 games, Steam average is only 5, and the longest consecutive streak of 149 days. Not quite half the year, but close enough. 26% of our games were new releases. That's games that were released in 2022. We're beating the average, which is 17. The majority of the games we play are recent favourites, though. Games that were released in the last 1 to 7 years. I think SWTOR is in that category because it only counts when it launched on Steam. So SWTOR really should be in classic games because it's 11 years old now. 8 or more years. And again, we're beating the average on that. So the majority of our games, I think these two will count as that. They'll be in that category. Vampire Survivors is in here because it came out in, well, it went into early access in 2021 but came out in 2022 full release, so I guess it'll be up there. What type of games do we play? Mostly MMORPGs, a little bit of superhero games. We play action, roguelike games, Vampire Survivors, Souls-like. We played Elden Ring a bit. I did say about Elden Ring. Inventory management is there. Lego. We played Lego Star Wars. We had that, so there you go. That's in there, but mostly it's skewed towards MMORPGs. What about the super? We played probably Guardians of the Galaxy. We shared 8 screenshots. We added 2 new friends. We had 2 badges. We never made any workshop contributions or written. I said wrote some reviews. Workshop item subscriptions. That was one. That was Blue Shift. It was Black Mesa Blue Shift, in case you're wondering. Only earned 1 badge. We'll need to get towards that. So let's take a look at take a closer look at the games we played. SWTOR wasn't playing in January. It didn't work in January. If you remember the Alder Lake issue. February was when the expansion launched. And you can also tell exactly when overtime starts where I work. October, November, December. Because it just falls off a cliff, the playtime there. That's when the overtime comes in the winter. But there you go. We came back in February and we played it pretty consistently. Peak in August and September. Summer, there's no games releasing in the summer. That's why it peaks then. So there we go. Final Fantasy we were playing in January, February, because I picked up the expansion, came out in December 2021. So we were playing that. So at the start of the year we played Endwalker. That's what I was doing there. Fell away quite heavily playing SWTOR. Can't play two MMORPGs at the same time. You can see exactly when it kind of correlates. Played a little bit in October because the Halloween event. But other than that, we'll need to pick that back up again. Vampire Survivors, then you can see the majority of our achievements. 117 of those achievements came, over 196 came in Vampire Survivors. There you go. Bought it in October in the Halloween sale. So I think it came out, I think it went into full release in September, was it? I think. There you go. So the majority of our playtime. I haven't played it in December. I've been playing it on the Xbox, on Game Pass. I've been playing it on the Series X as well. I think we started playing it on that again. I had to start again because it's not an Xbox Play Anywhere. We started this year for the first time. So I bought it in the Halloween sale. And I bought the DLC as well. You can see some of the achievements there for the DLC. Some of the rare ones there were from the DLC. DLC is worth it though. You get a new stage and a couple of new survivors and some new weapons. We're playing F1. When did F1 2022 come out, I hear you ask? July is the answer. Or June. It was late June. Because that's when we kind of fell off playing F1 2022. Played it on the Xbox Series X because the PC version crashed a lot. I wish you could crash the cars, but you know, you could crash the game crashed before you could crash the cars. So there you go, 11 achievements and that. What did we get? Complete our first race. Go away, Just Eat. Yeah, so there you go, F1 2021. Resident Evil 4 I played on the Steam Deck in August, mostly in September. I did a playthrough of that. Runs really well on the Steam Deck. It does run really well. Playtime by month. We had Guild Wars 2 in there as well for a bit because Guild Wars 2 came to Steam. Need to play that again. I haven't played it since September. But you can see mostly SWTOR. It was Final Fantasy, and then it was Final Fantasy SWTOR, and then SWTOR. What was that? Elden Ring we played. Elden Ring came out in February as well. Again, it just stopped working for me in March, so we never played it again. Like, no playtime again. I think there's a little bit there. Did we play Elden Ring for a little bit? I think we may have played it on other PCs when we were testing stuff. Uncharted came out in October. Uncharted was decent. You know, there's Vampire Survivors in there. We not played a lot of games in December because you can tell when the overtime came in. It just does a trend downwards, isn't there? And we did a lot of overtime in December, just to get money. You know, just you need money for Christmas. You know, and we are a winter business that I work for. You know, so we're always busy in the winter. There's our playtime. We played on more than one device. The Steam Deck, of course. 5% of our playtime on the Steam Deck. I usually just play it. It's usually short playtime, short sessions that you do on the Steam Deck. Like I do it when I'm on my break at work for 15 minutes because that's what the Steam Deck is suited for. So that makes sense. And it's 95% Windows and 5% Steam Deck. They'll say, no, you don't play on your Steam Deck often enough, but it is small, short sessions. And we'll get to the Steam Deck games in a minute. Most of the games we play on Windows, we played 27 games on the deck. I think 110 out of the library that's Steam Deck verified. There's the Steam Deck playtime. Again, I finished Resident Evil 4. I'm playing Dead Space right now on the deck. Bit of Vampire Survivors. Runs quite well. This is the most popular game on the Steam Deck. Doom Eternal is also pretty good on the deck as well. So we did 5% of our playtime. 27 games we played on it. 106 sessions. They tend to be quite short. Like it's taken me 3 months to get halfway through Dead Space because it's just short sessions that you're playing. There and again 15% of playtime is with a controller. Most of it is Vampire Survivors because again you just move the analog stick around. You don't need a mouse and keyboard. There's no buttons really in Vampire Survivors. F1 makes sense. Elden Ring as well is better with a controller, and we've got Uncharted and Borderlands 3 Uncharted, we played a bit on the Steam Deck. Elden Ring, again, we had to stop playing it because it broke. It just didn't work, so I just uninstalled it. Bought it on the Xbox Series X and playing through it just now. Longest daily streak was 149 days from Saturday, the 12th of March, till Monday, the 8th of August. I wonder what happened that day on Monday, the 8th of August. I don't know. And there is all the games we played. A lot of these are testing games out on the Steam Deck, like Half-Life, Half-Life 2, Left 4 Dead 2. We tested them out on the deck. Quake 2, we tested Quake 1, Republic Commando. We all tested all these on the Steam Deck, and most of them worked fine. We played a bit of Rift as well. Terra, remember Terra? That's shut down now, sadly. Dead Island, I remember buying that. We did Shadows of the Empire on the Steam Deck as well. But yeah, most of these games that we played. Dad of Boy, there it is. Agent 64, Spies Never Die. That was the demo that we played. So there you go. Nothing really interesting or surprising there. Explore games you played this year. And that's just games that we've played. I am going to do all the Call of Duty campaigns because it's Call of Duty's 20th anniversary in 2023, so we're going to do all of them. So we've got COD 1 and COD 2 there. We did the Cowabunga collection as well. That's a pretty good game, that Entropy 02. It's a little mod. It's like a Half-Life mod, Half-Life 2 mod. You play as like a Combine soldier. It is pretty decent. I haven't played a lot of it, mind you. What's the blank game? What is this? You played this game 2 sessions. Ooh. Mystery there. Guardians of the Galaxy. We only played it in January. And I think we uninstalled it. I think that's when I bought it. KOTOR 2. Did we played that in February. I had to go to that in February. There you go. Resi Village. We played that when the DLC came out. But yeah, that one's pretty good. You should try that. I played it in August. We only got 1 achievement in it. But you should try that one. That's pretty good. What else did we get? Nothing else here. What is the blank game? Maybe it's one of those launchers, like the Hero launcher for the Steam Deck. Maybe it's that. But I don't know. FIFA 23, which didn't work. I played the trial on that in September when it came out, and it didn't work. So same with F1. F1 2022 should be here because we played it on the trial. There he is, Charles Leclerc, looking smug at you. Yeah, that was in July. Again, we played the trial, and it just crashed a lot. You know, like you've got Lando, Charles, and George there. Just Lando Norris is looking smug at me. He looks at me like, you're an idiot for buying this game. That's the look on his face. I don't think Charlie and George can be bothered, really. They're just getting paid for it. But Lando's like, yeah, I know this game's shit and you bought it. Or played it on trial. Anyway, there's Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga, which we haven't played for a while. Still a pretty fun game. Runs pretty well. Sad that Terra's gone now. Anyway, so that is all for this video. So you can see Elden Ring there. We did play it a bit in October, and we did play it again in December. I don't know why that isn't there. March, tried to get it to work in March a lot of the time. Came out in February, and then by April, you can see how stopped working after an update. Just went white screen, black screen, crashed to desktop, and you can see how tried to fix it, but then just gave up on it. And then tried it on other PCs. We did get a few achievements. We did the Round Table Hold. We did Shardbreaker Godric we defeated. So 3 achievements in it at least. But I haven't bothered installing it since. I just bought it on the Xbox Series X, and we can play it there. So it does actually work there. Grid view by each month. Oh, there you go. January's games, February's games. So that's an interesting thing to play around with. So anyway, that is all for this video. So thank you for joining me. And we'll see you again soon, and goodbye.